Jai Gurudev and Namaste. Today we are diving into the profound teachings of the Ashtavakra Gita, particularly through the insightful commentary that has been given by His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji. We have with us experts from the Vedic Dharma Sansthan to guide us through this ancient dialogue between King Janaka and Sage Ashtavakra. Thank you for joining us. Namaste. It is my pleasure to speak about the Ashtavakra Gita and explore the wisdom shared by Gurudev. Let's begin by setting the context. The introduction starts with King Janaka, a king who had already attained the highest knowledge but remained curious. Can you elaborate on this aspect? Absolutely. King Janaka is a fascinating figure. He represents the ideal blend of worldly responsibility and spiritual quest. As Gurudev explains, Janaka had already reached a state of deep wisdom, but his thirst for more knowledge didn't end there. Despite managing the daily duties of a king, he was always seeking deeper truths. His story is very relatable because it shows that no matter what position we hold in life, the inner quest for knowledge and truth continues. Gurudev said, curiosity arises when your heart is longing for something higher, something more. That's true. Janaka's pursuit of more knowledge becomes even more interesting when we hear about his dream, which Gurudev describes. Could you tell us about the significance of the dream he had? The dream is central to understanding the deeper teachings of the Ashtavakra Gita. One evening, while attending court and listening to reports from his subjects, Janaka fell asleep. In his dream, he saw his entire kingdom submerged by a flood, followed by famine and destruction. Everything was gone: grains, fields, cattle. He became a pauper, wandering the streets, hungry and begging for food. This dream was extremely vivid for Janaka because he, a powerful king, experienced the pain of complete loss and isolation. Gurudev explained how dreams often reveal deeper layers of our consciousness. He pointed out that Janaka's dream shows us the nature of impermanence in the world. What you have today can be gone tomorrow. This dream shook Janaka, leading him to question reality itself. That's a powerful realization. In the dream, Janaka even receives a piece of dry bread, but there is a twist with the dharma of those times. What can we learn from that? Yes, this was part of the dream highlights the ethical and moral codes or dharma that governed society at the time. As Gurudev pointed out, there was a rule that householders could not eat alone if a guest or someone else was present. They had to offer food to others before eating themselves. In the dream, Janaka, despite being hungry, worried that if he met someone, he would have to share the single piece of bread he had. This teaches us that about attachment and fear, two aspects of human nature. Even in the dream, Janaka clung to what little he had, and his fear of losing it further reflected his deeper insecurities. As Gurudev says, when you hold on tightly to something, you fear losing it, and that fear clouds your wisdom. This insight from the dream becomes a stepping stone for Janaka to delve deeper into the nature of the self, which is what the Ashtavakra Gita ultimately explores. It seems that Janaka's dream becomes a catalyst for his spiritual transformation. How does his encounter with Sage Ashtavakra fit into his journey? Exactly. The dream shakes Janaka, and it is this state of confusion and existential questioning that paves the way for his meeting with Sage Ashtavakra. Janaka begins to question the nature of reality, what is real, what is illusion. This is where the Ashtavakra Gita begins as Janaka seeks answers from Ashtavakra, a sage who was enlightened beyond worldly wisdom. In Gurudev's words, Ashtavakra's wisdom cuts through the layers of ignorance like a sword, revealing the ultimate truth that goes beyond the body, mind, and world. The dialogue that follows is an exploration of non duality or Advaita Vedanta, where Ashtavakra guides Janaka to realize that everything is an illusion and the only truth is the self, pure consciousness. Gurudev's commentary on this timeless dialogue seems to make an incredibly relevant for modern seekers as well. How does it resonate with contemporary spiritual seekers? That's a wonderful question. Gurudev's commentary on the Ashtavakra Gita makes it accessible to anyone regardless of time and place. He draws parallels between Janaka's questions and the inner turmoil that many people face today. In today's fast paced world, people are constantly searching for meaning beyond material success. Gurudev highlights that true wisdom is not about gathering more information, but about realizing who you truly are. This is a universal message. Whether you are a king like Janaka or a modern day professional, the quest for inner peace, truth, and wisdom remains the same. Gurudev's teachings remind us that the answers we seek are not out in the world but within ourselves. Thank you so much for sharing these deep insights. As we conclude, what final message would you like to share about the Ashtavakra Gita and Gurudev's interpretation? The Ashtavakra Gita is a profound text that transcends time, and Gurudev's commentary brings out its essence in a way that is simple yet profound. The key message is that freedom comes from knowing who we truly are, beyond all roles, labels, and identities. As Gurudev often says, you are not the body, not the mind. You are the vast consciousness, the infinite self. When we internalize this wisdom, life becomes more harmonious, peaceful, and joyful. Beautifully said. Thank you once again for your time and for walking us through these timeless teachings. Thank you. It's been a pleasure to share this wisdom. As we delve deeper into the teachings of the Ashtavakra Gita, I would like to revisit Janaka's experience after the dream. What transformations occur within him as he processes this profound encounter with impermanence and loss? That's an essential aspect to consider. After Janaka's intense dream experience, he begins to awaken to the reality of his situation. His fear and anxiety about losing what he has led him to seek answers from Ashtavakra, highlighting an important transformation, the shift from ignorance to awareness. This represents a critical step in spiritual evolution, recognizing that attachment is a source of suffering. Gurudev emphasizes that true wisdom is recognizing that life is transient and clinging to the ephemeral only leads to pain. Janaka's realization that he is not defined by his possessions or status as a king is a turning point. This journey encourages us to confront our attachments and question our identity. It's remarkable how Janaka's struggles mirror those of many individuals today. How does this dialogue with Ashtavakra help Janaka to detach from worldly concerns? The dialogue is a beautiful interplay of questions and answers where Ashtavakra employs paradoxes and riddles to help Janaka shift his perspective. He teaches him that true liberation comes from understanding the nature of the self, which is beyond all dualities of good and bad, success and failure. As Gurudev states, when the mind is caught up in the dualities of life, it loses sight of the unity of existence. Through their exchanges, Janaka learns that everything he perceives as separate is actually a manifestation of the same consciousness. This realization encourages him to let go of his fears and attachments, embracing a sense of freedom. This liberation from dualities must have profound implications for how we engage with the world. Can you elaborate on this notion of seeing unity in diversity? The Ashtavakra Gita advocates for a vision where one sees the interconnectedness of all beings. Ashtavakra teaches Janaka that while the world appears diverse, at the core everything is made of the same essence. Gurudev articulates this beautifully. Unity does not mean uniformity, it means seeing the same divine essence in everyone. This perspective is crucial for fostering compassion and understanding in our interactions. When we recognize that the same consciousness flows through all, it naturally cultivates love and acceptance. It shifts our focus from judgment and competition to harmony and collaboration. That's an inspiring approach. Now, does this understanding of unity manifest in practical terms in our daily lives? Practically, it encourages us to act with mindfulness and kindness. When we view others as extensions of ourselves, our behavior changes. Gurudev suggests that each action becomes a prayer when it arises from a space of oneness. This means that our interactions become imbued with deeper meaning. Even simple acts of kindness are seen as contributions to the greater good. In daily life, this might look like practicing gratitude, showing empathy, and being open to different perspectives. As we cultivate this awareness, we not only transform our relationships but also contribute to a more peaceful society. It is fascinating to see how these teachings can lead to societal transformation. In light of these profound insights, what advice would you offer to individuals looking to deepen their understanding of the Ashtavakra Gita and its relevance today? My advice would be to approach the Ashtavakra Gita with an open heart and a willingness to reflect on your own experiences, engage with the text and Gurudev's commentary actively. As he says, the wisdom of the Gita becomes truly meaningful when you allow it to guide your actions. Moreover, practicing meditation and self inquiry can significantly enhance your understanding. Meditation helps quiet the mind and opens the door to inner awareness, allowing the teachings to resonate on a deeper level. Ashtavakra's wisdom is not merely philosophical, it is meant to be lived. Thank you for these practical insights. Before we wrap up, are there any final thoughts or quotes from Gurudev that encapsulate the essence of the Ashtavakra Gita? Indeed, one quote that encapsulates the essence of the Ashtavakra Gita is, "You are the witness, the observer, not the body, not the mind." This profound insight invites us to recognize our true nature and the role of awareness in shaping our reality. Embracing this perspective allows us to live more fully with clarity and purpose. It is a journey from the self to the self, an invitation to discover the infinite potential within. That's a beautiful thought to end on. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and insights about the Ashtavakra Gita and the commentary of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji. This discussion has been enlightening. Thank you for having me. It's been a joy to discuss such profound teachings. May we all find the wisdom to navigate our lives with grace and awareness. Jai Gurudev.